Hi there, everyone. I'm Patricia Arps, and I want to thank you for visiting my channel once again. So today I want us to talk about something that has really shaped my life and my mission to help others heal. I want to talk about the abuse of power because this is something that I experienced firsthand. So let me explain what the abuse of power means. This happens when someone in a position of authority misuses their influence or their trust, or they use their control to take advantage of another person so that it benefits them, whether that's emotionally, sexually, financially, or in other ways. So it harms a person who is vulnerable and who is dependent upon them. So in my case, this happened to me at a time when I was coming out of an abusive marriage. My former pastor was our marriage counselor. He knew the struggles my ex-husband and I faced. So when the marriage ended and we separated, my pastor started visiting me under the guise of offering support. But in reality, he had other motives. At the time, I was just 28 years old, newly single, a mom of 2 little children, and I was emotionally vulnerable. He began by telling me how wonderful I was, how he couldn't understand how my husband left, and then he crossed this line. He started saying things like he always loved me, that I was the kind of wife he wished he'd married, and that he and his own wife were no longer in love. That was how it started. A touch on the hand, a shoulder, a hug, then a kiss. And before long, I was in a sexual relationship with a man who was supposed to be my spiritual leader. I was manipulated and trauma bonded. I was caught between knowing it was wrong and feeling this unhealthy need to be needed. It took me 4 months to get out of this relationship and 12 long years to recover from the damage. And it was even during those 4 months that the pastor's wife came to my home. She came one night and confronted me about what was happening between me and her husband. That moment incredibly traumatized me, and I want to share more about that conversation in an upcoming video because it deserves its own dedicated space and time. But here's the amazing thing. After my 12 years of shame and guilt, that left me because God came in and met me in my brokenness and lifted me through a spiritual encounter. That's how I found freedom. But understanding what truly had happened to me, the language that it was the abuse of power, that came decades later when I became a therapist. That truth defined what actually happened to me, and it expanded my healing and gave me the words to help others. So I'm sharing this because I know there are people out there who feel trapped, ashamed, or confused by what someone in a power did to you. You still might be entangled, or maybe you're still haunted by the memories. I want you to know that you are not alone. It is not your fault. However, it is so important that you get the support that you need, so that you don't allow your vulnerabilities to be an open door for predators. People in authority should never use their position to exploit trust. Your path to freedom might look different, maybe through counseling or through a support group, maybe through a moment of a personal revelation. I don't know, but I want you to know this: freedom is possible, and there is hope after bad things have happened to you. So if you're watching this and you're feeling that weight of shame or confusion, I want you to know that I'm here for you. Take my virtual hand. Let's carry this burden together. Let me help you walk on the path to your healing. It may come through spiritual counseling. It may come through a therapist. It may come through a miracle. But I want you to know that we are going to do this journey together. I want you to visit me at powerrestoredconsulting.com. Find out more information there. You can purchase my books that talk about my own personal journey, and it also gives clinical insights. But together, we are going to have your power restored. One story, one heart at a time.